Welcome to the Secret Sauce of Outsourcing podcast that's dedicated to making you better at outsourcing to the Philippines. This is episode 182, National Heroes Day in the Philippines. So today is August 29th as I record this. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into my business and how I work. Today, Monday, August 29th, is National Heroes Day in the Philippines. This podcast won't be published today. It won't be published. In fact, I don't even know when it's going to be published. I just give it to my team and they publish it whenever they're ready. And I'm behind on recording my podcast from where I should be. I should have recorded this 2 weeks ago. But it's been a long summer and we spent a month in Europe and we spent 10 days at Lake Powell and we went to mountain bike national championships and we went to a youth conference and we went to my wife's family vacation for a week. And there was just a lot of time away and the travel kind of isn't ending. We're going to Lake Powell again next week. And then I'm going backpacking in Glacier National Park. And so I'm a little bit behind, and that's a little insight into my business and how I work. I don't set deadlines for things. I do things as I can because I want the time freedom more than I want things to get done. And so when I'm home, I'm very, very focused on the things that I do. And when I'm at home, I'm very, very focused in my business on what I'm going to do. And producing content is one of those things. And this podcast is one of them. The video, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's the videos, this is part of what I focus on. My newsletter is another thing that I focus on. So producing content is, in my opinion, is like king. It's what makes online businesses succeed. Not always, but very, very often. And that's true of mine. So now let's talk about National Heroes Day, because this was August 29th, obviously, and it's a regular holiday, a bank holiday. My team is not working today. So here's what it is. It's celebrated every last Monday of August each year. It was enacted in 1931, so it's been a good long time. It was meant to commemorate the cry of Pagud Lawin. And just so you know, I'm going to kind of read this because this is not my culture, and so I don't actually know the history, but Julia does, and she sent it to me. So it was meant to commemorate the cry of Pagud Lawin, which was the first revolt that kicked off the 1896 Philippines Revolution against Spain. So Spain, the Spanish Empire, was ruling the Philippines, and in 1896 they revolted and got their independence. So here's what the cry of Pagud Lawin is. Pagud Lawin is a place in Quezon City, and it's said that in August of 1896, a group of Filipino revolutionaries gathered for a meeting to discuss starting a revolution against Spain. During the meeting, as a symbol of their revolt, they tore up their tax certificates, which are called cedulas, C-E-D-U-L-A-S. That's their tax certificates. They tore them up and they cried out, "Viva la Independencia Filipina," which is, long live the Philippines, or long live the independence of the Philippines. And the tearing up of the tax receipts was a big deal because the cedulas were basically identification cards given by Spain as receipts when you paid your taxes. It was how you were known, and they were just saying, no, we're refusing to recognize Spain's authority here. We're not using these things anymore. When this happened, this wasn't the first revolt, but it was the first revolt that ended up attempting to create independence from Spain. It ended up in a temporary government, a constitution, organized attacks against Spain from different parts of the Philippines. So this was what really set the Philippines on the way to governing themselves after a long, long time of being ruled by Spain. Nobody exactly remembers when this happened, so they settled on the last Monday in August to celebrate it, just to commemorate that, it happened in August, and we want to celebrate this as this is our National Heroes Day. If you want to know more about the holidays of the Philippines, you can check out onlinejobs.ph/holidays, where we have a calendar that you can subscribe to, and it will let you know, just in your normal calendar, when there's a holiday in the Philippines.